Good morning. So I just haven't gotten out of bed yet. I just finished doing my meditation. In the middle of my meditation, I had to stop. I had like this realization, and I decided I wanted to go ahead and record it before I get out of bed, so that I have it down. So I had to stop my meditation to write it down. This concept that came to me, and what I wrote is reality and time can be bent and warped through perspective and imagination. We bend reality and shape it all the time, um, even without knowing it. Master creators of reality know this, and work with it. Um, we warp reality by interpreting it and attaching the meaning that we want to perceive. Now, that we want to perceive is not always consciously. That we want to perceive is according to our perspective, what we are programmed to perceive, what we are pre programmed to perceive. So we are going through life with these certain perspectives of how life is and our place in life, or things that we want out of life. And then we take these seedlings of reality that we see and we warp them into what we want, and we manipulate them. So instead of seeing things for what they are, many times we'll see them and we will attach a meaning in a certain direction that we want, and we warp reality that way. That means that we take reality and we see it in a certain way, and then we continue along that certain line of thread of thought. And in doing that, we actually warp reality into meaning what we want it to mean, or what we sometimes that's not even what we want it to mean. Sometimes, let's say, if we're insecure, if we have insecurities in ourselves, and let's say we're super attracted to somebody, and they say, and we're expecting them not to like us because of our own insecurities that we have. So then we will take things that they say and get hurt from them, or take them in a certain direction, or see them, or things that we're afraid of, that we really want but we're afraid of them. We will take like reasons why we can't go after it, and we'll make up stories in our minds, and then we'll see the proof of it in reality. We'll say whether that's the proof of it or not. That's many times it's just something that happened and that we can be overcome if we have the belief that I'm looking at my hair, it doesn't matter. If I'm going to take the dogs out for a walk. I also need to get a package ready and go to Tiberias. I already have all this day all planned up in my head, but I want to finish this by interpreting it, by attaching the meaning that we want to perceive and running with it to create in a certain direction. So it's basically what I just said. So, like, we see something that happens, we interpret it in a certain way and bend reality to the direction that we are thinking. And then we start creating in that direction with that little, it's like having a seedling. It's like having a little seedling, and then we grow the plant that we're expecting to grow. We get a hint and grow what we want from it with intention or without. So we can do this with intention, or we can do this without intention. So when we clean, and that's what I feel like on this journey that we're doing, we're cleaning our all of these preconceived ideas, and we are becoming like pure and clean to where we can look at reality and just see it for what it is, and see all the different directions that it can go in. So, because every single situation has infinite potential in it to go in many different directions. And our minds are so genius, I want to say, just miraculous. We can conceive so many different ways of being. I mean, you can see it over cultures, different cultures believe different things and have different uh, conceived ideas as a collective, even. That's why you have different. I'll show you the book that I have next. The Encyclopedia of Mythology. I'm starting to look into that a little bit, or at least I have the book there so that I can. I'm going to go put water on for coffee. Maybe I'll put this in its stand. You guys can see my good morning. There's Rexy waiting for me to get up. Good morning, Rexy. Yesterday I had quite a day. I don't even remember a lot of things that I shared yesterday. I had with my 16-year-old son some happenings, and for a lot of the day I was kind of in a funky mood because of it. Sometimes I get in these funky moods, and then I do my water out of this cod ceramic pot. It's actually one of the things that my twin, one of his products, one of the things that he makes. Well, he doesn't make them himself, but it's one of his made products that he sells. It purifies the water back to the vibration of earth, and it's really cool. I went with him one time to see what cup I want. I don't like all the cups. This is a pretty good cup. Thank you for this day. Today's a good day. So today you get to wake up with me in the morning and see my morning routine, kind of. So also with the warping time, we do this all the time. And there's things like, let's say with warping dimensions, and warping dimensional. So warping matter, we warp matter all the time. By making this coffee, I'm warping matter. And I'm taking one thing and making a new thing out of it. It's kind of like alchemizing. We do this with our thoughts. We do this with our reality. And so we warp reality all the time. We're master reality warpers. So that was something that just hit me like obvious. Oh, we warp reality to what we want it to be. And most of us, most of the time, do this on automatic pilot. Like we have this automatic programming in us of the way that we perceive the world and the way that we see things to be. And then we go through life. I have my sage stick, so I'm going to do this too. We go through life with these automatic programmings that we don't even know that are there. At least on this awakening journey, we know that we have those programs that are there, and we start watching for them and reprogramming our own mind. And see, this in itself is an entity. It has this fragrance to it. I was actually thinking on making these sage sticks and offering them for sale. Not that I want to sit every day, all day, and just make sage sticks, but I do feel like that there is a vibrational, magical, when it's like changes, it like makes a cut. So let's say, like, if you, like I was saying about the repair that I did, where it changes the whole atmosphere. It's like bringing a new entity into the room that purifies the energy. It's like an energy purifier. There we go. It's an energy purifier. And you can't, it's something that you can't deny. So I have my little, I'm just gonna put it there. I have my Sao Paulo. I have this other stick that's not done yet. And the one before. This also has, this comes from South America, and it has the most wonderful fragrance. And it's also one of those things that's purifying, and I think it's called Sao Paulo or something like that, but it means sacred tree. Oh, that's something else. That's a wonderful way to wake up in the morning. It's a wonderful way to wake up in the morning. So this morning while I was doing a meditation, it hit me so obvious how we warp reality and how we do this mostly unconsciously. You know, we just have these programs that we're pre-programmed with, and we see things as we are, and that is part of the manifestation. You know, I was talking also on the weekend, we were talking about, and I've been talking a lot about manifestation. But one of the manifestations is this, that we see the world as we are, and we create the world as we are. So as we are, so we create. And once we become aware of these pre-programmed ideas, we can reprogram our own minds, and then we automatically go through life with these conceived ideas, or what was the word that I used before? It's the obvious word. Wait. Perspectives. We go through life with these preconceived perspectives. So have you ever met somebody that has a total chip on their shoulder all the time? So they're like all the time pissed off, and everything pisses them off. And you look and you're like, dude, what are you getting pissed off about that for? Like, that's just silly. So what if they did that? Okay, you can also, you know, even if you see the absurdity in whatever it is that's pissing them off, it still doesn't, you know, as for you, it doesn't hit you as pissed off. It hits you as, okay, that person's funky, or that's silly, or whatever. But people that are prone to be pissed off are going to be pissed off about everything. And people that see the world as a negative place, there's negativity. There's all the emotions, and every single thing that there is to feel is all around us at all times, at all the different vibrations. And we choose, knowingly or unknowingly, to connect to these different vibrations. Whether we know we're doing it or we don't know we're doing it all the time. It can't be different, because that is our life. Our life is a perception. That's all our life is. We're just this big chunk of meat that we feed, and our life, all it is a dream. It's a perception. It's how we perceive it to be. So we're dreaming when we're awake, and we're dreaming when we're asleep. And what's wonderful is that our mind doesn't know the difference between dream and reality, because reality is also a dream. It's our dream of how we see things to be. So this my son got me because I didn't have the regular brand, and this is almond milk. I don't eat or drink dairy products or meat out of ideology. Really, I don't see why we need to consume other life. It's we're all part of this, and all life is sacred. All life with consciousness, and all life is sacred. All life. And I think about um, I don't know if I closed off that other subject. I think I kind of beat it probably into the ground. But I think that anybody that's watching my videos up till now pretty much know me and know that I jump from one thing to another. And I think that if you've been watching my videos, you get what I'm saying, because otherwise you wouldn't be following me. You can understand that high of a concept or that idea. With the animals, the let's say when you eat a cow or or a chicken or things of that, you are imagine when they take them to slaughter, they know where they're going. They see the cows ahead of them. Even if they don't actually see the act, they can smell it. The fear is in the air. And imagine that you take that cow, and at that moment when they're full of fear and knowing that they're going to die, and their whole body becomes like stiff of fear, and they put out, I mean, when you are fearful, especially fearful for your life, I mean, imagine right before an accident, or right before, I need to get these dogs out on a walk. So I'm going to get ready while I talk. And I'm going to turn the camera around because I need to put a bra on. Or actually, I'm just going to get out of reach of the camera. Put a bra on. Actually, I'll pause it. It's like spring got here all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I am walking around sleeveless. I actually want to get some more clothes because I don't like the sleeveless very much anymore. I want to find things that have kind of like a half sleeve. But I don't really buy clothes for the most part. Sometimes I do. This dress I bought. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I go to the secondhand store and I buy clothes at the secondhand store. For the most part, I usually just get clothes in bags and kind of style them myself. Come on, Dougie. So excited to get. Let's see if I can show you how excited they get. We're going down the stairs. They get so excited. I imagine they also have to pee. I'll put a hat on. I don't want to get more sun. Up and at 'em. What was I talking about? Talking about preconceived ideas, and then my son. Or maybe I was just thinking about my son. But he got home last night after I already went to bed, so. Grab my coffee. Are you guys ready? You guys want to go for a walk? With my dogs. And then there's the neighbor's big dog out here that I have snacks for, that I take for her all the time. She loves me because I give her snacks. Well, she loves me also because I pet her and I pay attention to her. Let me get a snack for her. So I have a bag of snacks right here sitting waiting. Those little nubbins. Kind of grodied out to hold it. Oh, I was talking about the cows. I was talking about the cows and the animals. Oh, she's not here. I'll put the snacks over here on the table for when I come back. And give them to her. I don't know where she is. So imagine that you take all that fear, and then let's say when you're full of fear, your body produces this hormone, right? This, like, imagine the whole cow's body is full of this fear and hormone and vibrating this super, like, toxic chemical. And that's when they go and they kill them. And all of that is frozen into the meat. There she is. Say, but I'm not going to go back. Good morning, Mila. Good morning, Mila. Mila's a good doggy. Oh, it's not Mila. Her name is Luna. Luna. Mila is the other doggy that I like. So, okay, so I think I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to show you where I'm walking to. So I walk out my door and down the street. And this is the end of my street right here. And this is where I go. So those are the roses that I smell every morning. You know, the different roses have different smells to them. Oh, that smells so good. Okay, that smells so good. Okay, I'm going to stop this here. Okay, so I want to add on to this warping reality thing that I was talking about, because I feel like I didn't all the way finish that subject. Because not only do we warp reality, there is no reality except for the reality that we give. And not only do we warp reality, I mean, you can see this, we warp time and we warp matter. So with matter, it's easy to see that we warp matter. You know, we take, I don't know, we easily warp matter, take it and change it, alchemize it into something else. We also can warp time. With time, it's a little, it's something that you have to be able to conceive. But let's say when you get into the now, the here and now, time sometimes seems to stand still, or everything is relevant. So let's say some days when you warp time with energy, through energy. So let's say on some days when I get up and I do, I don't know, I'm busy all day long and I'm doing all sorts of things and going to different places and spending a lot of energy, it makes time be perceived as longer, you know, as the time is longer. Each minute lasts more time. Especially when you're in the moment, then the moments last longer when you're actually present in the present moment and not lost in your head, which connects back to the video that I did yesterday, one of the videos that I did yesterday when I was in Nahlamod. So as you perceive it, so it is. That's the only reality there is the perceived reality. And so have you ever noticed that there's days that at the end of the day you look back at the morning and it's like, what? That was this morning? I can't believe it. It feels like it was 2 weeks ago. And there's some days when when you're lost in your mind a lot of the day, or there isn't a lot of energy expelled, or you know, you don't move around a lot, or that the days seem you get to the end of the day and all of a sudden the sun's going down and you're like, what? Where did this, what? You know, this day was super short. And with so that's how we can warp time. We get into like these time bubbles and warping our reality, that what is kind of like creating, it is creating your reality. And I feel like, what was it that I was going to say? Because I just got lost on the time subject, and there was something more that I was going to say about the um, about warping our realities into the direction that we want. So basically, in order to, the warping happens automatically. We're programmed a certain way to conceive or perceive the conceive and perceive the world in a certain way. We're pre-programmed to see things in a particular way. Look at these flowers. Oh, they smell so good. Look, they're like this bright yellow, and the middles are like this fuzzy little purple, and then they have like this little yellow thing on the edge. It's perfect how nature works out like that, because um, purple and yellow are what is the word? Are I learned graphics, and I'm an artist, so those colors are colors that go together. They're like opposites, because there are three prime colors, which are yellow, blue, and red, which you can't, yellow, blue, and red are colors that you can't mix any other colors. They're like the base colors. Everything in the world is made of those colors plus the shades. And so then you have complementing colors. So yellow goes good with purple, because purple is red and blue together. So there's the three prime colors, and then there's three, like, I don't know the word for it, but there's the three other colors, which are purple, orange, and green, which are the prime colors mixed together to make those colors. So anyway, it's like a perfect, it's how, and they perfectly contrast each other. So it's wonderful how nature does that, the yellow and the purple together, to make them look good together. There's certain colors that don't look good together. So let's say if you put red and blue together, let's say you put blue text on a red background, you can't read the text, because the colors have the same amount of dominant, are the same amount of dominant. English is kind of, and now it's snake season, so I'm kind of watching. I'm walking out here to this lookout point. So I'm trying to think what I was going to say about that, manipulating your reality. We do it all the time anyway. And, so whatever your perception is your automatic way of processing reality. So whatever you perceive by programming your brain. And so this comes back to the video that I did yesterday about affirmations and reprogramming your mind to believe in a certain way. And so the most important thing that you can do in order to create your reality is change your perspective, or change your beliefs, or reprogram your mind through affirmations. And then once you do this, then as you go through life, your automatic is to we automatically interpret situations. So we get to a certain situation, and we interpret it according to the programming that we have in our mind that is running on automatic, right? So once we change that automatic programming to what we want it to be, it doesn't matter what the outside circumstances are, because we're always going to be interpreting it according to what is inside, right? So once we change our belief system and the way that we perceive and conceive the world to be, outside circumstances don't matter, because whatever we see, we're going to interpret according to who we are. So I think that this is a pretty good how to. I have a spider crawling up my leg. There it went. I stomped it and it fell. Like I stomped my foot and it fell. I didn't stomp the spider. Standing here on these stones. I love my life. I love my life. So
if you've been watching till now, I'm going to tag this video on the end of that other video that I had because I think they go together. And so I'm going to stop this here because I think that I think that that was a pretty good explanation. I love it when I wake up in the morning. There's like a bird flying over there. It's a bright blue color, so pretty. I'm not even going to turn it around. There's no way you can see it. It's tiny, just flying across the open space. So, and everything has meaning. See, everything that I say, you can take into your life and interpret it. And this is a good day. This is a good day. This you can actually you've actually come with me from the moment I got out of bed this morning. I got up before I did my meditation and went pee and stuff. So, and then went and did my meditation and straight out of bed started this recording. So this is a good day. A good day.